Okay, so I'll just do this one again.
Okay. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for coming back. We have been meeting weekly, I guess, for the last couple of months, and I thought it was a good time for us to go over your treatment plan that we developed at the beginning of our sessions. If you'll recall, you and I both talked about what we thought you needed to work on, and we agreed on the first goal being anxiety and the second goal being interpersonal relationships. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the progress you're making in both of these goals. Let's talk first about interpersonal relationships.
I think they've gotten better.
They're getting better? Mm-hmm. And how do you know? What's your gauge?
Okay, my mom. Okay, my mom and I tend to bicker a lot. Mm-hmm. And she can get on my nerves sometimes.
Okay.
So I have to kind of just, the way I'm dealing with her now is like, kind of laugh it off. Or take a deep breath and just count to 5, really.
And using some of those strategies that we talked about developing.
Uh-huh.
So you're just laughing it off sometimes?
Well, not like, cause she just does stuff like she's forgetful and I'm like, Mom, we just talked about that. Instead of getting upset about it, and she'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm like, Mom. In other words, a different attitude, I guess.
Okay.
Instead of getting pissed off and, getting irritated with her, I tend to be like, Mom, we just talked about that. You remember? Or,
And is there a difference in the way she's reacting to you as opposed to the way you were doing that before?
Because if I get angry, of course she's going to get defensive and they start to fight. So no, we haven't really fought.
And she doesn't take offense to your giggles, like she thinks you're laughing at her or making fun of her. That's not how she's taking
Okay,
that.
like today is a good example. I told her, I was on call, so we get up at 1 o'clock. I had to be up at 12. And I said, Mom, I got up at 12. I got to go to work at 1. So I'm sure after that case, I want to go have lunch, but I want to be, I'm on call, so I have to do everything fast. Well, I call her at 12. I said, wake up. Okay. I call her at 1. She's still asleep.
Oh, no.
So, of course, I'm like,
deep breaths.
Deep breaths. And I'm like, I said, Mom, I called you at 12. She's like, I know, but I can get up. And I said, well, hurry, because, I'll probably be up before 2, and I'm on call. Okay. And so I called her, and I did, and she said, well, take your time, and I did, and I was like, okay, so I took my time. I talked to my coworker, and I'm like, okay, Mom, are you ready? Like, yeah, I'm ready. You want me to meet you there? Yeah, I'll meet you there. So that whole situation could have been...
It could have been an explosive situation.
Yes, for me.
Yeah.
For me, I could have been like, Mom, how come you didn't... I told you I called you at 12. How come you wake up at 12? But I didn't. I went, Mom, why didn't you wake up? Yeah. And I think just to act the way I talked to her. And with more...
Are you making a conscious effort to kind of take a deep breath and say, okay, I have to be like this to her so that it doesn't turn out like this? It's become a conscious effort.
I really have to go like, literally a deep breath, because I can go like that. I can set off. I can go on.
And historically, and that based on experience and history, that kind of reaction to her could have been very explosive, and it could have ruined your day, and it could have ruined your mom's day, and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So knowing that sometimes is very helpful.
Yeah, I would say that my mom and I think the mother and daughter relationship is the most difficult, I think, personally. And so it's an improvement. So
okay. I'm glad to hear that, because after you do something consciously for a while, before you know it, you start doing it unconsciously, and it just becomes a natural part of the way you react to people, and it makes a big difference. Yeah. And then that kind of spills over into other areas and other issues that you're having, just based on the tones that you use with people, or the attitude, like you said, the attitude that you have about what's going on. Mm-hmm. So that's good to hear. Mm-hmm. What about your dad? Have you seen your dad lately?
Nah, he came over the other day to cut my yard. But that's about it. But that's normal for us. I feel like it's fine. I don't feel the need to see him a lot, and he doesn't feel the need to see me a lot, so it's mutual.
And as long as it works for both of you all, then it's totally normal.
If
it works for both of you.
Yeah, we don't go a day without talking to each other.
So you still talk to him on a daily basis?
On a daily, 4 or 5 times a day.
Okay.
He wakes me up in the morning. I don't know if you know this, but he wakes me up every morning.
With a phone call just to say, what are you doing? Or
hey, Miha, you up?
I am now,
and
Dad.
I'm like, yeah. And I don't know if you know this, in the morning I don't like to talk to anybody.
Yes.
He calls me every morning. And
Now, does your dad know that? Does he know that you don't want to talk to people first thing? Have you ever said that to him? Like, Dad, can you wait till after 12 to call me?
no, I've never. No, because it's nice for him to call me but I'm just like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
But you're okay with that, right?
I'm okay. And I get like all irritable, but that's just me being not a morning person and not wanting to talk to anybody. Even at work.
So you do get irritable with him when he calls you?
And I don't know if it's irritable, but I'm like, are you up? I'm up. Okay, well, you have a good day. Call me later when you get out. Okay.
And then that's it.
I don't know if it's irritable. I'm just like, I don't want to talk to you. But
really, Dad? It's 10 in the morning.
I know 10 in the morning is late for everybody, but for me, I'm like, 9:30.
But he may not know. But you're okay with it if he's calling you anyway.
And I have it to the point told him, don't call me. I think if it would bother me that badly, I would tell him.
You would have said something to him.
No, he's just making sure I'm up. It's sweet.
Yeah.
And that's just me being not a morning person, so.
And those phone calls, and I can tell you from experience, the phone calls when you don't have your dad anymore, having those phone, I mean, that's when you're really going to, you're going to wake up one morning and say,
I do think about that. I really do. The older I get, the more I know that our parents are not going to last a long time. And I know my dad's healthy, but you never know. Like, you can go like that. And I do think about that. And that's when I have to be like, and he'll tell me, you didn't call me. And I need to make more of an effort to call him. And I do. And you know what? I'll call him, and it's like, there's nothing for me to say, but I think he just wants to hear. He wants me to call him
to make sure you're okay.
I guess. Okay.
Just to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, and I have to remember.
So who tends to call the other person more often? Like, does he call you more often than you call him?
He calls me more often, and it's funny. My mom doesn't call me, but I call her more often. So I don't know. Maybe it's. But my dad's lower maintenance, and my mom's very low. My dad's low maintenance. You've said that before. My mom's high maintenance. Low and high maintenance. You've said that before. So it's just totally different relationships. Totally different. Yeah. Both of them. That's probably why they're divorced. And sometimes
it works for couples. Sometimes they balance each other out, and sometimes it just doesn't go. It just doesn't go. But